we are going to generate this part. For that, we need to do operation on surfaces, such as modifying the control points, create an offset, do a split operation, and create a blend. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to create a cylinder. So type cylinder with center of at 0 and then a diameter of 10 centimeters and a height of 10 centimeters. So this is 10 centimeters diameter and 30 centimeters long. Now we're going to modify the points by creating a cage, and we're going to use a bounding box here, enter, and with respect to the world, which is the plane with the grid, and then we're going to go ahead and change my control points to 8 and X, 8 and Y, 8 and Z, yes, and then we're going to modify the points by a cage edit operation, which we're going to select the cage object. The captive object is this one, enter, this one, global. Very nice. Then we have 8 points per direction to modify. We're going to get this part done by pulling the points. So we select the points, but notice that I selected the whole top rows, 3 rows, or 3 columns, all the rows in 3 columns of points. So we're gonna press Control and unselect these ones, and press Control and unselect these ones, and then we're going to modify these points to your liking. You can extend it as much as you want. So there you have it. To get rid of the point control view, you type escape, and then you can see that your part is right here. Very nice. What we want to do next is we are going to explode this part. So explode, and this part we can hide. So at this point we have one surface and 2 second surface on the bottom. What we want to do is we're going to offset this first surface. So surface, offset surface, distance of 1, this flip to the inner. Doesn't make any difference. You can do inner or out. Let's do inner. It's just that is gonna be wider if you go outside with the flip. With the normal pointing outside, it's just gonna get wider. All right, so we have our 2 surfaces. We can now hide this one, and what we can do next is we can project a curve. So let's see, if we were to generate an ellipse here, and we decided to curve project this ellipse, enter into here, enter, it projected the ellipse here. Okay. Let me see. I didn't choose what I wanted. Right. So with project, you have to click on the view that you wanted to project, and I didn't do that right. So let's right click to repeat the operation. So we're gonna choose this one, enter, this one, enter, and there you have it. Now you have a projection here on that end. So we need that projection because then that's how we're going to transition from this surface to this surface. So we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. So we're gonna copy paste and move it to the bottom. I think that's fine. Let's go see my part. Yes. So we have this projection and that projection. Very nice. I actually don't need this one, and I don't need that one. I need these two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a split. So left click, objects to split is my surface, enter. Cutting objects is my curve. Where need to select it, enter. And now we have this part that we can hide. So now we have subtracted this part, and now we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do a split. So objects to split is this surface, enter, and the objects to cut with is this one. So we can now hide this one as well. Very nice. So I think that my ellipse ended up being too big. Looks more like a circle, but we could modify that. We need to go back if we need to modify that. But for now, I'm gonna carry on and show you the rest. So let's show everything and see where we are. Show. So we have this top part. That could be the lid. We don't need right now. We have this inner part, which we don't need right now. Look at your perspective. And it seems like we are not going to need it right now either. So we have this part that you're not gonna need, and this part they're not going to use. Okay, so let's go back to our front size, and now we're going to create a curve, and we're going to start drawing. Get rid of your ortho so that you can freely draw your curve. I think that could be well right there. Yes, I just need it near the center of this other curve so I can later on use the blend operation to connect them. So at this point, we can make this a little better, but I'm going to use a tool that is very useful. So I'm going to say record history, and I'm going to say pipe, and then my first diameter, let's say 0.7 centimeters, and then the second one, let's say also 7 centimeters. So it could be different diameters, and then it will be wider at the bottom, or it will transition depending on the size of the diameters. Enter. And that's my part. So with record history, then let's do record history. With record history, you can move your curve, your points, and your pipe command, or your solid body will deform with the curve as well. So that's very useful, because then with the solid you can have a better understanding of how do you want it. So maybe that's more comfortable. Perhaps we're going to have to extend this a little, and this one a little. So that's quite useful right there. Okay, so now what we need to do is that we need to do a blend between this surface and this object. So for that, we're going to go ahead and extract this surface. So right click, extract surface, and enter, delete. We're not going to need that one. Yes, now we don't need history anymore. Delete, and that one, extrude, we're gonna explode, and not explode, extract surface. That's gonna be right click and delete, enter, delete. Okay, so now at this point you can't modify these points anymore with record history, because we just stopped the record history in order to modify the surface, which is fine because I think this is precisely what I wanted. Well, it could be better, but you get the point. And now look, I was not careful and I went off the plane. So right now I'm just showing you a quick way of completing this part. So in this part right here, I didn't use the record history, so I was able to keep everything with the plane. Perhaps I can go ahead and go back and do the way that I did it before. Yes, so what I did before is here I modified my curve before I operating on the pipe command. So this one is more like that. What does this one look like? I don't want to rotate it though. It's way too far. Yes, okay. So now the curve, it should be on the same plane. Yeah, right, it's exactly on the same plane. So now we can do my pipe command again. And it's gonna be this curve with a diameter of 0.7. And let's do the other one with the diameter of 1. Let's see what happens. So if now you see that it has different lengths. Perhaps it should have been better if it was here 1 and the bottom 1.7, but I think that you get the point by now. Okay, so now this one got a little too big also. Hopefully we won't have any issues. If not, we'll have to go back to that point. Let's see if we can create it. So we have a surface and surface. I like what I see. Let's do blend, not blend curve, but blend surface. So select first edge is this one, and select second edge is this. Oh, we forgot this part. I forgot to. So you saw why it couldn't choose the edge is because this one has the cap. So we need to do right click, extract surface, enter, delete. And the same here, right click to extract surface, enter, delete. And now let's see if we can do blend surface. For that, we will choose this curve and we'll choose this curve. Okay, it will do it, but then we'll have to fix it from here. Maybe like that. And wider. Yes, I think that will do just fine. And a G4 for here and here. And let's keep it tangent. Okay. So now you have this connected by a blend. And you can do the same operation here. So right click on the world view to repeat your last command, which is blend, and first and second, enter. Let's go ahead and fix this a little. Okay, yes, actually this one got a little better transitioning than this one, but that's fine like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and show everything. I'm gonna move, before I show everything, I'm gonna move this one out of my way, so I don't want to delete it yet in case I get to use it later. So I'm going to go ahead and what I always do, which is F2, rename, and curves. And then I'm going to move that to my curves and then I can hide it. Then it's out of my main layer and it's not bothering me. So if I say show, I can, well, this one I'm gonna wait until I do all my other operations. So notice that if I hide this one, I have two surfaces here. So what I need to do is I'm going to do another offset here. So surface, offset, surface, but not a solid. Yes. Distance 1. Yes. Enter. So we have, I did it twice, so I had to delete one. So we have that surface right there. And now I can perform my operation. So let's hide this. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. Hide this one, and now we have the bottom and this one also. Hide this one. Hide this one. Okay, so let's see what happened. This is the issue here. I exploded the view, and now the offset is, I'm gonna have to delete this one. Delete and show all. Yeah, okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is I exploded at the very beginning. I don't know if you remember, I exploded all the surfaces. What I needed to do was only subtract the top surface so that when I created my offset, this one right here would be offset into the copying side. I would have to go back to that point and restart my process, but instead I'm going to go ahead and fix it like this. So I'm going to do copy. Let's go ahead and do that again. So select, copy, paste, and hide. So now I'm going to work with this original one. I'm going to scale. So this point is actually on the 0, 0, so let's go to 0 and grab it and bring it to this point. Yep. Okay. So now if I hide this one, my surface now has this diameter. Okay, so now I like it. Now it's fixed. Okay, so what I need to do now is a loft operation where I select this curve and that curve, and I attach them. All right, that's fine. And then if I do a show all or a show, then I can see that I have another one that will be a loft between this curve, a loft between this curve and this curve. Yep. All right. So there you have it. You have that on top. This one is not going to be needed just yet. So now I have that, and that. Now I still have to attach these two. So we can go ahead and do another loft. And in that case, it will be this one and that one. Enter, enter. Yes. So we're getting close to our final part. I guess it would be best to get a radius on this edge. So let's go ahead and now create a single object. So these are surfaces. We will do a join, and Yes, when I go ahead and do a fillet, let's go to solid, fillet edge, fillet. Now I'm selecting this curve and 2.0.25, that's fine. Enter. Yep. Okay, that's fine, and I can do another one in the inside curve. So let's do right click to repeat the command and select that one, and that is okay. And you can always, when you go, let's go back. If you do the operation again and you select the curve, look, notice that at the preview you get the option to see your 0.25. So what you need to do is see if you can modify it by pulling on this point, which I think I did just too much. No, that I need to go back and pull it a little further. See, I'm not doing it right. So select, enter. Yep. Now get rid of your grid snap, and now you can modify it. Say 0.45, close to 0.45. And now it's much smoother. Same thing here. You can go back and same thing here. You can go back and repeat that operation there, or do it again on this one right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the lid. If this is for lid, could be very simple. Just extrude like that, and that's your lid. Yep, that's your lid. And at the very end, let's go ahead and get this polysurface and polysurface. Polysurface and polysurface and join. And now you have a single solid with polysurface. And now if you get the volume of this part, notice that this is not with the lid, because I want the lid to be a different part. If I do them together, then it's going to be shot and you won't be able to pour anything. So this is its part by itself. So this one, volume for this is 1970 cubic centimeters, and this one has a volume of 80 cubic centimeters. So if you were to 3D print these parts, now you can, because they're closed, and you just, as you know, save them as .stl. Now let's put the lid maybe back on top, just like that. All I need to do is bring it here and have it underneath here. Yep. Okay, so they can be touching, or they depend on what you want, doesn't have to. Let's go ahead and delete this, we don't need it. Delete that, we don't need it. And this curve, we don't need it, because we're done.